Hey guys, Brandon here with Ikson Reptiles, and in today's video I want to basically do I don't know, I guess one of those hypothetical fun videos of what I would get if I was trying to spend around $1,000. So I did make a little bit of a list, so I am going to be going through that. I have 3 different options, or I guess kind of packages of animals for different projects, and basically I'm just going to kind of go through kind of each project, why I picked that specific project, and what I kind of think the benefits are and how I guess that can benefit you going forward. A lot of these projects you can basically be taking a little bit of a long odds approach, but in this hobby and everything else, I guess you pay for everything mostly with time and a little bit of patience. So the first group, you're actually purchasing a double het puzzle Ultramel male. I am going to be putting them up on the side of the screen somewhere here, so that way you can kind of get an idea of what animal we're talking about. I'm actually just going to kind of slide over to give myself a little bit of room to do that. And like I said, so the first animal is a double het puzzle Ultramel. I found one for like $600. It's one of those things where you could probably offer a little bit less. Double het males for the most part are kind of undervalued and underutilized. There's a lot of opportunities there, especially with genetic testing, which is something we are going to be utilizing because I have at least a female you can choose, and I picked 3 different girls for options. So I found a leopard Ultramel, and that one was $600. And I think leopard and puzzle work really well together. Leopard and Ultramel work really well together. You end up with a lot of really nice color and a lot of pattern aberrancies, and playing in with puzzle, I think that can only benefit you. With this pairing, you're also going to be hitting about 50% Ultramel, and half of everything is going to be het for puzzle. So you have a pretty decent shot at producing, potentially an Ultramel het puzzle female that you can raise up. Even if you produce an Ultramel het puzzle male, you're still going to be increasing your odds down the road. So either way, it's a win-win. The other one is a GHI Ultramel, and that one was $550. Yeah, that one was $550. And again, another dark gene, another kind of thing that plays with the pattern a little bit. The GHI puzzles look really nice. I think putting GHI in Ultramel and puzzle is going to look fantastic. And then there was a spot nose Ultramel that was for $500, and that one was from Brock. And I can't recommend Brock enough. He's an awesome guy. And spot nose kind of adds extra alien heads. So in theory, you're going to be adding additional pattern, an additional pattern that can be kind of messed up, with puzzle. So all in all, I think any of those 3 females with the double het puzzle Ultramel male would be phenomenal. And you're basically kind of setting yourself up to produce Ultramel puzzles in the future with that one pairing. And obviously if you wanted to spend a little bit more, you could get multiple of those females, and then you could obviously increase your chances. So the next group is a little bit more of a, I guess like a safer bet. You're basically just going to be trying to reproduce an animal for your own projects. And that's one of my personal favorites, which is the Ultramel pied. This animal comes from Will and Audra, and it is a pied het Ultramel male. And they had that one, I did not write down the price, but I feel like it was like $300-400 or something. It was super reasonable. And overall, I think that male can be found for a pretty reasonable price. Shoot, I even have an adult pied het Ultramel male that I would probably let go for a pretty reasonable price. And the females that I picked were both from, I believe it was Chimera. I took screenshots of all these the other day, and I'll, like I said, add them off to the side. But it was a Enchi double het and then a OD double het Ultramel pied. And both of those females were around, I think, like $300. And with that, you're now doubling your odds. You're doing a visual to a het. So instead of a 1-16, you're looking at a 1-8 odds. You have 2 females. If one girl doesn't go, the other one still could, or you could have both girls go and, have good success that way. Either way, overall, you are increasing your possibility of producing an Ultramel pied. If you produce an Ultramel pied male, you could use it on those females again. And likewise, if you produce females, then you obviously improve your odds in the future down the road using those too. So the third project is one that you could potentially be making building blocks for a triple recessive for this particular group would be a pied double het VPI hypo. I think the True Ghost stuff is kind of underappreciated. So I think there's a lot of options there. And again, you know, you're going to be able to use genetic testing to your advantage for this. One of the females that I picked out for this was the Xanthic het pied. And that one was $550. So for that pair, you'd basically be looking at, you know, $1,200 somewhere around there. With that pairing, you could basically be making pieds that are 100% het for Xanthic and then genetically test them for hypo and then hold those things back. Now, the other option that you could potentially do is instead of the pied double het, you could pick up a hypo pied male, which are also fairly affordable. The one that I found, it looks like I wrote down $350. So if you were to get that male, get the Xanthic het pied female that we mentioned previously, and then also get a pied het hypo female, you would basically be setting yourself up to, again, produce pieds. These ones would be 100% double het. And then you'd also be able to just make basically just hypo pieds. But overall, you'd be in that project total for, it looks like, about $1,000 for that 1.2 trio. And this way you're basically using that double visual male to both of these girls. Again, now you have two opportunities for either one or both of these girls to go, and you're not kind of putting all your eggs in that one basket. So overall, I would probably lean more towards the hypo-pied male with both of those females, just because you are, again, increasing your odds, and you are basically going to be producing the pieds that are 100% double het, as well as being able to produce just some hypo pied, which overall I think are basically one of the best values, kind of bang for your buck as far as genetics go. I mean, a hypo pied is like $700-800. Sometimes you can find them a little bit cheaper for females, but they are just beautiful. I mean, you really can't complain with the looks of them, and you know, hypo pied males can be found considerably cheaper. So overall, I think all three of those different projects would be great. It depends on kind of what route you want to go. While I do love the Ultramel pieds, and if you want to make visuals with kind of, you know, just to kind of seed your collection, I think those are a great option. Now, if you're looking to kind of produce something for the future and really kind of utilize patience, I think the first project to basically produce Ultramels that you test for puzzle, or the second project that you're basically producing pieds that are double het, hypo, and VPI Xanthic, and more hypo pieds to, again, kind of help seed your collection and kind of fill that collection up. I think both of those routes are a little bit better. Either way, kind of let me know down in the comments what you think would be a kind of great project that you can get in with at least a pair, if not a trio of animals, within that kind of $1,000 plus or minus kind of range. As always, feel free to follow us on Instagram, Ikson Reptiles, and check out our Morph Market to find an animal for a new or existing project. Thanks again for taking your time to watch this video. You don't want to miss next week's video. We're going to be kind of showing pretty much everything cool that we've seen in Tinley. And when I say everything, I mean the ball pythons, and maybe a couple blood pythons. There were a couple animals that I probably should have recorded but didn't. The albino anacondas for one, as well as some of the pied berms, just because those look awesome. But stay tuned and make sure to check out next week's video. All right, see you in the next one.